running the first cross-country World Cup of the year in what has to be said is a very chilly Albstadt.
Very, very.
I've got Henrique Avancini here with me today.
Cheers, man.
I'm trying to psych him out a little bit by wearing short sleeve jersey and no gloves and trying to look really warm. Does it ever get as cold as this in Brazil?
Yeah, maybe on the coldest day in history.
So on the coldest day in history in Brazil, I should
got
point out
below
this
10 degrees, yeah.
This is the start line then.
Yeah, this is the start line. We have a pretty good straight mainly for the start here in Albstadt.
Yep.
Usually it's a quite clean start, not many crashes on tarmac.
Oh yeah, how important is the start here? Because you've got a big long drag down to this first corner, don't you?
We have a fairly nice start loop here in Albstadt. Consistent long climb on the start loop. But I mean, it's always safer to be in the front. The pace here in Albstadt at the beginning is always like fast, especially going to the first stage of the season. People are a bit more stressed. They're nervous. So
there's a spectator on the track.
Yeah. So if you can stay more ahead, the safer it is.
Okay. Does this suit you? This track? Is this a good track for you?
Last year was my worst result.
So
of the season.
Good that I mentioned that. Good that I mentioned that there.
No, I mean, but here it's pretty much, if you got the legs, you got the legs, you know.
Yeah.
And it's quite a strategic race. Looks like a simple course, but if you ride smart, you know, and you have to, you can get out with a really good result and performance.
It's psychologically, is the first one of the year.
Yeah.
How important is it to get a good result of that, just to get your season sort of?
I would say it's quite important, you know, to kick off with a good result, or at least with a good performance, you know, a good feeling in general. So pretty much heading to the race, it's the most decisive moment, psychologically speaking.
Yeah.
Because
just point out, sorry Henrik, this is the tech zone, the first pass through the tech zone.
First pass.
So the riders can get technical help here. If something goes wrong at the start, you can dive in there.
Yeah, bit of code to the guys.
Yeah.
They're gonna need here.
You get some grief from your mechanics through there.
Yeah.
And then onto the first climb.
So from here we start riding on this gravel.
Look at this dude's shoes, wow.
Hello, Morgan.
Those bad boys.
Which is good rolling, but also a bit loose, you know. You can still overtake. The track is fairly wide.
Yeah.
But if you go out of the main trail or the main line, it gets a bit more like slippery.
There's already a line here, Henrik. Does that widen over the course of the weekend? This sort of groove that we're riding in at the minute?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. It depends a lot here in Albstadt if it rains or not during the trainings and during, you know, like the previous races. Before our race, you know, you have under 23 elite women. So for us, sometimes it changes quite a lot, the course. There's always a bit of a surprise.
So this track is 4.1 kilometers long with about 190 meters of elevation. But I guess the big thing here, Henrik, is speed. This is one of the fastest, well, probably the fastest average speed, is it?
Probably, yes. Because the point is that it's a climbing course. It's a course mainly for climbers. But the point is that the downhills are really, really fast. So you need to balance your pace on the way up because the recovery time is quite short.
Okay.
And yeah, and then you need to go again. So it's pretty hard to find like a consistent pace that you can manage to go through the entire race.
So the end of last year was pretty good for you then?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a digger. Will this digger be here in
Can
the
I
race,
go around
Henrik?
Bit of traffic jam.
Will
It
this
happens
digger-
also during the race,
will this
depending
digger
on
be in the race, no?
how good was your start, you know. Cheers, guys. We're filming for TV.
Thanks, guys. I gave those guys €20 each to be up here. Slow you down. Checks in the post. What a cheerful man. So yeah, a good end to 2018 for you, Henrik.
Yeah, really good. I mean, I built up during the entire season, and finished it on a pretty high note. So it was great motivation for 2019. So far, I had like the best beginning of season of my career. So I'm motivated, I must say, which is good.
It's the first descent then. Wow.
Have some rocks here. Usually this is a nice session, you know, you can't make up too much time, but you can recover a little bit because you still have like halfway to go to the highest point.
Now, this next bit, into these new rocks. Henrik's gone. What I'm guessing is going to be the harder line. Let's see how far I can get this year.
Are we okay?
Is this the A or the B line, Henrik?
Yeah, it depends a lot on the weather condition. If it gets wet, maybe the higher line is a bit smoother.
Okay.
If you go around your exit speed, you know, for this final piece, it's a bit better, it's a bit more flowy. So it depends on how the race looks and how your legs feel mainly. Hey guys.
Alright.
So this is the final piece of the climb.
Okay.
At least the first main climb. And then you get those
Oh, look at this wood.
switchbacks.
Oh, look at this.
It's actually a quite heavy piece, you know, because you need to hold back a little bit for the turns and then re-accelerate, and depend on how you feel, you know. It's not that easy.
I can tell you how I feel, Henrik. Quite tight, these little switchbacks.
Yeah.
Whew.
Final nice wild piece. Good place to move up or try to gain some positions.
That's a tough climb. And it's little features like that that I think make cross country so tough, because you've got to be really accurate.
Yeah,
Whilst your heart rate's maxing out, well, Mine is, Henrik's probably isn't.
I mean, I think the most demanding thing, you know, it's that you need to keep your focus level quite high during 90 minutes, so that's not so easy. So it's not only about the intensity, you know, but the time you need to keep the focus on.
Coming into some mud now. Thank you. Oh, Henrik knows the lines! Oh! All over the place there. And here. I was riding your bike there, Henrik.
Yeah?
Oh!
It's my fault then.
No.
So here it's closer, they are finishing the bridge, the new bridge over there. And that was one of the trickiest points of the course.
Okay.
And now it's a pretty fast session. So none of the riders, or just few rode that so far. And yeah, let's see how it's gonna look. But this downhill, it's pretty much like the steepest one. And you need to control your speed a little bit, you know, because if you let the brakes go, you can get lost quite easily in one of the turns. And at the top, we reach a session where we can choose in between like 3 or 4 line combinations.
Okay.
So it's gonna make like interesting to take a look over there.
Will you learn all of those and then have it in your head if you need to pass somebody, jump onto a different one, or?
Yeah, usually what I try to do is to pick up like 2 lines.
Yeah.
And to test it a few times, get confident, and it's pretty much I'm gonna hit one of those during the race. So I don't mess up too much, you know, like considering like
too much information.
Exactly. So it's pretty much like call A, call B, and yeah, just hit one of those. So I make the call just before, like depending if I'm hitting the session on a 5 riders group or if I'm alone or stuff like that. If I want to overtake someone or just take ease and extend my recovery time, stuff like that.
Where's it easier to pass people on this track? Is it going downhill or going uphill?
No, uphill mainly.
Is it because it's wide?
Yeah, pretty much. And also the climbs are quite long, you know, so you don't need to risk that much going down, because I mean, if you do, the risk-reward relation, it's you know, comparison, it's too high.
Yeah.
And on the climbs, as the climbs are long, you can just wait to see if the guide's not on your pace, you know, and then you can move up quite easily. You don't need to fight that hard for the positions here. So you just need to wait the right moment.
To be smooth on this.
Yeah, which is nice in Albstadt because the race always changes quite a lot, and I really like that.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool.
Let's drop her in.
Oh, drop the seat pose. So this first piece is the B line. Too tight actually.
Oh, I can just stand still. Henrik, being a gentleman and waiting for me.
No, I'm just scared.
Sunday afternoon. Tell you what, that steep on these bikes. Where's Henrik gone? He's going up here. Ah, so it's wider here than it was in previous years. Got it. And then we're climbing again.
Yes, please. We had a 30 seconds down. It's time to climb again. So
that's the worst thing about these tracks, is you start descending and having fun.
Yeah.
And then it goes, nah.
And then comes
back up you go.
Reality again. So this final piece, it's one of the most important of the course, because depending on how you exit the session, or how fast you exit the session, you can clear this climb, you know, way smoother. This is a nice session.
So this is into the Bullenthaler.
Hey guys.
Sorry guys. Oh no, this is weird. Henrik's disappeared. Like a microwave off the roof of a block of flats. Woo! I just unclipped for a second there. Look how much time it's lost me. There's not a lot of grip at all here. It's bone dry, but not a lot of grip though.
No.
You think it's going to be quite dry, and it's not at all.
No, it's quite tricky because you always have like this small cover of gravel over the really hard pack, so it's always slippery. It's tricky.
So this will be our second pass through the feed zone now.
You have a drink.
How often would you drink during the lap then? Is there set points you drink at?
So, to me personally, I usually like to pick like 2 drinking places per lap, around that, and those are my fixed points.
Yeah.
And other than that, I just try to squeeze a bit here and there once I get the chance. Sometimes you are in a group and the group kind of chilled, and then if you have the chance, you just grab a drink or have a gel or something like that. So you just adapt a little bit depending on how the race goes.
So we just had a big wide section there. Would that be a good place to overtake before this climb?
Yeah, it's one of the main places where you need to move up, because this climb, it's one of the most crucials. You still can overtake on few parts of this climb, the second big climb. But yeah, you need to position yourself nicely, especially to avoid being on the back on this corner here, because if you are, like wheel 5 or 6 on a group, you need to brake a bit earlier and you lose a couple of seconds, and this is not what you want before the hardest climb of the lap.
This is the hardest climb now?
In my opinion, yes, because
cool.
The first piece, it's longer, but you have like 2 or 3 small breaks, on the way up. And this one is pretty steady, all the way to the top.
What's this climb called?
I don't know,
Neither do I. Sorry, Henrik, that's my job, not yours. Oh, this is steady, look.
Yeah.
All the way up there. Oh.
You see, you still can overtake?
No, I can't.
All right. Good point, though.
Oh, I'm in trouble now. Henrik.
Yeah?
Can you throw me a rope or something? I noticed you didn't say yes.
Yeah, of course not. Yeah, we can negotiate, I could exchange a ride for you to the top for a nice coat, nice and warm jacket. So, but you don't have one, so we are out of negotiation, I guess.
Does it affect you if it's colder on race day then? Do you like the heat?
It's not that I like, but I consider 20 degrees cold. So my pattern of cold and hot, it's slightly different. It does affect a little bit. I just try to prepare myself to any kind of situation. So if it gets too cold, it gets a bit harder to me to perform on the top of the on a top level, on a really high level. But I mean, it's part of the game. And this mountain bike, it's what I really like about the discipline. Why did you stop talking?
I'm just giving you a chance.
Thanks, man. And up here, standing in the middle of the course, it's Salva, our video maker. Legendary.
No press, no press.
Spanish, no press, yeah.
Oh,
Good? This is the recovery piece, you know, like 3 seconds.
what?
And then we hit the downhill, the final one.
Ah,
We have a couple of like switchbacks at the beginning, which are a bit tighter. And then the middle part, it's a bit faster and also rougher with some rocks and stuff. But I like this piece.
a lot of talk about this track this year.
Some rocks here. Good. Cheers. Cheers, guys.
Danke.
So this is a quite fast piece of the downhill. Some different lines.
Oh, Henrik's got the high lines.
Go inside here.
Oh, you'll be inside there. Right in the sperm, which is rotting out already. Henrik's gone. Whoa. There's some cheeky lines in there, Henrik.
Yeah,
You can actually make time on that one, eh?
it's pretty tricky because also the grip changes, you know. At the beginning you have this gravel cover. At the middle piece you have some exposed rocks,
Yeah.
which is quite slippery. And on the final piece, you know, it's a bit faster, kind of flat bumps, and it's a bit tricky.
I'm going up the inside. No, it hasn't worked either. So then you're coming back down into the town now.
Again, on this down, you know, at the bottom, the most important thing, you know, it's your exit speed.
Okay.
So most of the time on cross country, it doesn't really matter how fast you are through the session, but really matters how fast you get out of the session.
Yeah.
So usually the most important piece, it's like the last couple of corners, because if you carry like good speed, you can hit then the next climb or the next transition, spending a bit less. So this is the final corner, heading into the sprint finish, which is a trick one. Should you try?
He hasn't expected it at all. He hasn't expected it at all. Ah!
Yeah!
Yeah,
Glory
man.
and Ben. Cheers, man.
Cheers, Henrik.
That's a good laugh.
I think.
Not really, but yeah, I still appreciate it.